Welcome back to my channel, The Uncovered Files. In today's video, we're diving into the latest developments between Israel and Gaza, as tensions have led to yet another ceasefire agreement. What are the key details? How does this ceasefire impact the region? And what does the future hold? Let's break it all down. After weeks of intense fighting, there have been recent reports of a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Gaza, sparking hope but also raising questions about the long-term effects. In this video, we're going to cover the timeline of events, the terms of the ceasefire, and what it means for both sides and the broader Middle East. Before we get into the latest developments, let's quickly recap the broader context of the Israel-Gaza conflict. Gaza, controlled by the militant group Hamas, has been at odds with Israel for decades over territorial disputes, security concerns, and deeply rooted historical and political tensions. The latest wave of violence erupted in, insert month/year, when, insert triggering event, for example, rocket fire from Gaza into Israel or Israeli airstrikes following an incident. This led to days of intense airstrikes, rocket fire, and casualties on both sides, with civilians suffering the most. The ceasefire announcement, after intense international pressure and negotiations, a ceasefire was agreed upon on, insert date. This ceasefire follows, X, days of escalated violence. The key details of the ceasefire are as follows. The ceasefire is expected to last with hopes that it will lead to a more permanent peace. Both sides have agreed to allow humanitarian aid to reach Gaza, which has been severely affected by the conflict, including food, medical supplies, and fuel. Prisoner exchange. There are also reports of a potential prisoner exchange, with both sides releasing detainees, though details remain unclear. Ceasefire monitoring. International organizations such as the UN or Egypt may act as mediators and monitors of the ceasefire to ensure that both sides adhere to the terms. Israel's government, led by, insert Israeli leader's name, has framed this ceasefire as a temporary measure to protect Israeli citizens while signaling its willingness to engage in further peace talks if Hamas agrees to longer-term stability. Hamas and Gaza's response. Hamas, on the other hand, has hailed the ceasefire as a victory, asserting that their resistance has successfully forced Israel to the negotiating table. Multiple countries and organizations played a pivotal role in brokering this ceasefire. Egypt has historically been an intermediary, but the US, the EU, and the UN have also been actively involved in the negotiations. Egypt has long had ties to Hamas, and its proximity to Gaza makes it a key player in facilitating peace agreements. The United States has called for an immediate halt to the violence, with both President, insert name, and Secretary of State, insert name, stressing the need for a long-term resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Similarly, the European Union has expressed its concerns over the humanitarian situation in Gaza. Despite the ceasefire, many experts are concerned that this agreement may be short-lived, as the underlying causes of the conflict remain unresolved. There are fears that a failure to address these root issues could lead to further flare-ups down the road. One of the most tragic aspects of this conflict has been the toll on civilians, especially in Gaza. According to reports, hundreds of people have lost their lives, and thousands more have been displaced, with many living without access to basic necessities. Airstrikes have destroyed buildings, hospitals, schools, and water facilities. Rebuilding Gaza will take years, and the international community is already working to deliver humanitarian aid. While Israel has been less affected in terms of civilian casualties, the constant rocket fire from Gaza has disrupted daily life, forcing millions to live in fear of missile attacks. Cities like Tel Aviv and Ashkelon have been hit hard, and Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system has been pivotal in intercepting many rockets. Neighboring countries like Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia have significant influence in the region. However, the dynamics are complex, with some countries siding with Palestine's cause and others maintaining relationships with Israel. While the ceasefire may provide temporary relief, there's always the risk that one small trigger could reignite hostilities. Both sides have been on high alert, and future peace will likely depend on whether or not both Israel and Hamas can reach a broader, more sustainable agreement. To sum up, while the recent ceasefire agreement between Israel and Gaza has brought a temporary halt to the fighting, the root causes of the conflict remain unresolved. The situation in Gaza remains dire, and both sides have much to lose if tensions flare up again. As always, the international community's role will be crucial in ensuring that this ceasefire holds and that long-term peace efforts continue. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates. Drop your thoughts and questions about the ceasefire in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. And as always, stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.